If you are clicking on this video, you are clearly having a problem with your ABS system. That could range from the littlest of things. It could be a dirty wheel speed sensor, all the way up to having to buy and replace the unfortunately dreaded ABS module. This bad boy right here is actually two pieces. You have the module itself, the controller, this black piece, and then you have the pump for the braking system, this metal piece with this big drum on it. This usually comes together, and sometimes you can buy them separately. I don't know why you would. I would just replace the whole thing, obviously. But we're gonna go over the symptoms and signs that this is going out or that this is not going out, because sometimes people will say that it is the module, but it's not actually the module, and it could be one of the simplest things. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I love all the support. Seriously, it means the world to me. You had your ABS come on. The first thing you do is you think the worst of the worst, and you're gonna have to drop thousands of dollars on replacing the module itself. But that's not always the case. The reason being is because this light will turn on if you have a bad wheel speed sensor, a bad wire to the wheel speed sensor, so the speed sensor harness, and or the module itself is going out, or your electrical system, which is super annoying, is not giving the power to the module as it needs. And that is a whole different animal. That's usually not the case. It is sometimes, obviously. But the first main thing on figuring out whether or not your module is faulty is looking at the symptoms. The symptoms you are going to get when this goes bad can be pretty aggressive or kind of silent. With mine, because I'm having the same issue and replacing my module, unfortunately, what started as what I thought was a wiring harness to a wheel speed sensor, which it was because my stupid butt pinched the harness on the front right tire, so the wires on the harness were just not good. Got that taped up, fixed up, and put back together as good as I could. It went away for about 3 months, and then it came back on. So I'm like, oh my gosh, is this my wiring setup not good enough? So I went back in there, did it again. I fixed it up, even checked the wheel speed sensor on that side to see if it was dirty. Got it, did not go away. It just did not go away. And then I was like, you know what, I'm not dealing with it. My car is still driving fine, because when you have these issues in the beginning, your car could drive just fine, but you could obviously have, let me get this out of the way. Get me out of the way. You're gonna have, don't mind the lights, everything is on. It's a Volkswagen. Your lights are gonna pop up, not this bad boy. Your ABS, your traction, and then you're gonna have this little bad steering wheel down here turn on. All three usually come on in unison. Sometimes what you'll first get is flashing traction control. That could flash every once in a while, but not usually. They all flick on. What you want to notice is while you're driving, your speed will actually stop working correctly. You could actually be driving down the road and your speedometer is just not showing the correct speed. You could be going 45 and it shows 20. And you're like, what in the world? So that could be linked to a wheel speed sensor, as I said, or the ABS module. And then another very aggressive symptom that your ABS module is going out is, I have had this issue and I have heard that it's very uncommon, very rare, but it does happen. And that is when the fault comes up, it pulls the car out of gear or makes it so the car cannot find the correct gear. And the reason being is because if you think about it, your wheel speed sensors, what they're doing is they're telling the car how fast it's going. They're sensing rotations of the tires on each corner of the car. And if all four are not working, the car has no idea when to shift, especially the DSG on here. I mean, manual, I think it could definitely be different. It would be different, right? So if you have a manual, it's going to be different, but you could still have speed errors. So you don't even know what speed you're going, and it's just your dash is stuck and you think it might be your dash, but it's really your wheel speed sensors or the ABS, obviously. Another thing is with mine going faulty, I've had no issues with braking wise. You just don't have any lock. So your wheels will lock up. And rule number one is if you are screeching your tires, you have no control, none. and your stopping power goes to almost zero. That's why they have anti-lock. That's why this system is so intricate and expensive, because it does crazy things. So you have the first symptoms where it's just purely lights that could come up. Then secondary could be flickering of your speed. And then third, your transmission can go out of whack, and your brake signal could also come into play and show a brake light. And that is because it's associated with your wheels. So sometimes this is also uncommon. It could show braking error. So for your brakes needing to be replaced or some sort of circuit like that. And that doesn't come up too often, but it does. So if you have all of these happening at the same time, you're on the right track to having a faulty ABS module. With that, this module, the easiest way to really know is to get an OBD11 or a VDSC scanners for Volkswagen and scan the codes. Because what you're going to find is a specific code for the ABS module. And that'll tell you right away. The module itself is having issues, so you don't have to play duck, duck, goose with all of the wheel speed sensors or harnesses and all that stuff. It'll just point straight to the module. That's the easiest, fastest way for you to know. And then if that's not specifically popping up, you will get separate codes for each individual tire telling you there's a problem. Every single one. Everyone will start to have a code. At that point, there's only one culprit that causes all 4 of your tires to have an issue, and that's the module. So if you are a DIYer and you want to really know and not guess based off of just these little things, get the car scanned. You can go to a dealer. You could go to your shop. I would recommend it to get it scanned. It'll tell you right away, and it'll point into the direction. If it's not the ABS module, it'll point directly to another problem that is causing these smaller issues. So just be careful, because when the ABS module is going out, your safety does go down a lot. And if you are driving in bad weather, this is a lifesaver. I know most people are not very good drivers when it comes to controlling under loss of traction. Driving is a skill. It's literally drifting almost. You do not want understeer. You do not want oversteer. You do not want to just slam into the car in front of you or lose control in a corner or anything like that. So I would recommend you guys go get it scanned, but use this video to do your own due diligence to figure out whether or not your ABS is faulty, because it could be a smaller issue. If you like this video, please do leave a like, comment down below if this helped you sort out your problem, and let me know if you want me to walk through the ABS sensor, getting them out or whatever, because the sensors themselves, so easy to take care of. It literally would take you about 15 minutes to take out of the car, clean them, check them, or even replace them. But seriously, if you have an ABS fault, take it seriously. You can still drive with it, but you're losing the safety. The safety is a big thing, and that's why these are expensive. And unfortunately, if yours is out, I know, it's painful. It's painfully expensive, and it makes you question whether or not you ever even want this car anymore. I picked mine up for cheap. I'm going used. I know it's a shot in the dark, especially because you have to match the car number directly to the one in your car, which is pretty easy on the Volkswagen GTI, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try to save some money. I'm saving a lot of money actually, and just hope it works. If not, I have to buy a new one.